What's up? Monday, October 16th. Pick Central brought to you by Cars.com. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you and whoever you're looking to be. There's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Cars.com, like I've said, best experience I've had in a long, long time. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next? Monday, we are in the soup of sports. This is very much you don't know what day it is sometimes. You don't know what games are on. It's I think we're currently in 50 days of football?
We're in the middle of it.
That middle of the stretch. Baseball obviously going. I was obviously, dead to the world for a week, but it's good to be back. Lot going on. I think we'll open, obviously, with the biggest story of the day. New York Liberty cut the deficit in half, 2-1. WNBA finals.
I was going to say the biggest story. I got stuck in an elevator.
That's a problem. Yeah, we'll touch on
20 minutes I was stuck in the elevator.
Don't take 6. I got stuck, too. Leaving one of these recently, I got nailed and got all the way up to 20. You sit on 20, and then you have to come back down. Same car.
Wouldn't open.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think it might be a bigger problem, more concerning, that we're on the second floor.
That was my takeaway.
I had golf clubs in my. I had golf clubs.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want to take the stairs with these.
That's
and then I go. It says going down. Shot straight up to 20, and then I was like, oh my god, it's not opening. And then I had 4% on my phone. So obviously the first thing I had to do was make a video. I'm not gonna call someone right away. And then second, I called Jack Mack. Well, I called Rico. Rico was like, all right. He's like, I'm taking a shit. It's taking him forever. And then Jack Mack fucking had Do Not Disturb on. So I was like, I'm sleeping here tonight.
See, people brag on me like I'm still very much a phone guy. Call.
Yeah, that's
Call.
not.
These people all Do Not Disturb. It didn't ring. They don't.
I've never put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I get scared.
I can understand Rico from prior experience, but it wouldn't be Jack Mack for me. It would be 911.
You don't want to be the guy.
I don't want him ripping me out.
Oh no.
I was debating that too. I'm like, Jesus, if I have to call,
There's a call
Dude,
button on there.
stuck in an elevator. That's no fucking joke.
Oh, it is.
I
no
was
joke.
nervous. I was
No
actually
joke.
for a second. I sat down in there and I was like, I'm going.
Jack Mack's gonna make a TikTok before he gets the crowbar and
Why didn't you call
you're out.
me?
I forgot you were still doing
recording. Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, I was here late, and then I saw your video. I was like, oh my god, is he still stuck in there?
Dude, it was bad.
Yeah. All right. NFL will recap. Obviously, NFL brutal loss for the Giants last night. I don't.
Valiant effort.
It's kind of weird because if we got to 2-4, would it have mattered?
Back in. No, I'm back in.
You're back
the
in?
Commanders next.
Yeah,
Back in.
for sure.
You can get back.
Beat
in
the Bills on the
500.
road.
They out now.
Well,
They out.
me and Ev were kind of going back. We said the same thing basically, but as neutral, what did you guys think of the play call in the half?
It was disastrous.
It was all. I mean, Ev, to his credit, said it right. I'm like, because I had Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown. So I'm like, just run it. And Ev's like, you can't run it. If you run it, you run out of time. I'm like, all right.
Dead.
And sure enough, it's what they did.
And they did hold. They if you looked at it, they like held Tyrod's leg until like.
That's what they always do when they're
Smart.
at 9 o'clock.
You're
But-
supposed to do.
Also, that's like people yelling at Dable. Obviously, Dable did not call that Tyrod Taylor chain like the way
He checked. You could see it. He checked at the
He
run.
checked it, and then. But I don't like the one thing I don't like is that everyone's saying if they kick a field goal there, we win. Well, if the Bills didn't miss 2 field goals, we wouldn't have just.
Yeah,
won either.
it's
So
there's
it's like,
different elements of the thing.
That's not the reason we definitely fucked that up, but that's not the reason we lost either.
But you're a 15-point dog.
It was
Just
a
go get
huge-
points.
It
You're gonna
hurts.
struggle getting points. Go get
Hurts.
It was just such a crucial moment.
I even go. You throw the ball no matter what, and that's.
I just couldn't, even just sitting there, I just couldn't believe he did that. People are like, I mean, not a lot of people. I think people, Dable's now kind of a couple out breakouts in a row with Daniel Jones now.
That was
Tyrod.
Are you seeing that? But
I don't like. He should do that. Like I'd be livid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win a game, and my 12-year veteran quarterback
Basically went against.
checks to a run when you know it's either you score or bust. When you could have done the same thing after taking 2 shots to the end zone.
Are you seeing that more though? Not even just Dable, but like coaches around the league that with like teams that are struggling, being more animated, like with their frustration on the sidelines. Like Arthur Smith, obviously with the Falcons yesterday, was like his facial expressions were ridiculous. Like,
But that's
are you
like,
seeing that more around the league?
I'd rather that.
I think we've seen that. I think people are acting like it's new for some reason when it's not.
People are acting like
It's the NFL. It's football.
Dable's doing this for the cameras. Do you think Dable thinks the camera's on him right now when he's like like you just said, made a stupid fucking mistake and he's obviously gonna motherfuck his quarterback after that?
The last thing he was worried about is, let me yell at Tyrod just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
It was my fault. When if you've watched football before and have half a brain cell, you could tell it was not his fault to begin with. He doesn't need to like protect his image from the people watching that it was his fault or not.
Also, second, I don't like only having one option on the end last play.
I said that as well.
I hate the play
He
call.
got held. They held the
It should have been a penalty.
Hold, but having one option, I didn't love that.
It was just so bang bang. I don't think the play call was as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It was just that I agree with you that it was tough because it was so it was so fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, because even I was arguing with my boys in the group chat last night, like, got to give that to Saquon. I'm like, well, they did it last time. It worked out great the last time they did it. He got stuffed in the backfield like 3 times.
He got stuffed there. They would call him the.
Oh, they would say, "How dumb are you? You couldn't run the ball." All big sides. They had some success in the second half.
But
for the most part, they got stuffed in the line of scrimmage a ton in the run game. If they ran it, they would have been like everyone and their mother knew they were going to run it, and you ran right into the heart of their defense. Stupid.
I still do kind of wish they gave it to Saquon. I know it's like I would have been okay if they didn't get it because it's still like. That he was running better in the second half.
He was,
and it's our best player, and I just wish that we did that, but I don't know. You got to score a touchdown to win.
I was in real time. I was hoping they were going to do a little maybe a little one of those fake fullback handoff, or either something like that, or a sweep to Saquon. I wanted him out in space to make a cut, dive for the end zone. I didn't want him just getting the ball right up the middle.
Fake fullback.
That was what I was thinking in real time. Maybe a little sweep or something to him.
In Madden, fake fullback pitch is one of the best plays on the goal line. I used to love that shit.
Even just regardless of the fake, even just a pitch to him or something, I would. That's what I was thinking they were gonna do. But
so what happens to the Giants now? You guys are
fucked.
Dead.
So. What just
think you can write off a little
draft
bit.
Picks now?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
The NFL, that's not a thing.
I
don't tanking is not real in the NFL.
You can write off a little bit of the fact that we overachieved last year. Jones was hurt, Saquon was hurt for the most part. I don't know. I think unfortunately they're going to be in
no man's land.
We're
going to win a few. We're going to win a few games.
Yeah, they're going to be in no man's land. The worst
I'm not
spot.
a big on your take on Breece Hall. I know you that's how you kind of with the Jets. Yesterday, you did see the difference in the Giants' offense that when they had a little bit of a threat back there.
Of course.
And it was everyone's like, oh, Tyrod Taylor is going to be our quarterback now. It's obviously, I think people are joking, I hope. But it's Saquon is a huge threat. That opens up the passing game. So hopefully that helps Daniel Jones in the next game against the Commanders. But it's just.
Imagine, and they got a big tight end target. Imagine if they had competent wide receivers.
Yeah, and Slayton actually showed up a little bit yesterday.
Tyrod threw some great. Every ball he threw to Slayton was great.
Yeah.
I also didn't I
love the way that he was Wendell on third down too. He picked up a lot of key first downs.
Did we do it twice? The long passes on 3rd and 1, and then again on.
Yeah, I think it was him just kind of taking a shot.
Yeah.
I don't think that was really what they drew up.
Look, the Giants obviously played well, but. Anybody going to talk about how the Bills just consistently
they're not
lay down and can lose any game that they play? They can win by 100, but they can lose any game that they play.
The other thing, too, is the Bills probably won't be sitting on home field. That's been their kryptonite as well.
Probably not.
You could say that the Bills and Chiefs are equal, and a lot of those games have been decided close, different, who gets the ball in overtime, very close. You could say the Bills could have beaten the Chiefs in any of those playoff games for the most part. But the Chiefs are always going to get the edge if they stay in Kansas City.
Dude, you lose.
They don't have to go to Buffalo, and that's the way it's shaken out. Buffalo's not getting home field.
You're coming off a loss, granted in London, and you're at home against the Giants, a 15-point favorite against a backup QB, and it comes down to the last play of the game. You're supposed to be a Super Bowl threat?
Honestly,
not good.
Honestly, that's kind of the funny thing about this whole, a lot of I've been in the weeds on Twitter with Dable. Have my mentions to DMs are Bills fan here. Can we trade coaches? They're please, give me Dable back. Yeah. They're begging for Dable back. Yeah. That shows where we're at more than anything. I think.
Rico, what you're saying is I get what you're saying. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, like these top teams, like the Chiefs and the Bills, are not playing well on offense at the moment.
No.
Like the Chiefs' defense is the reason why they're winning football games. The Dolphins are like the one team where it's like their offense is and I know the Bills beat the shit out of them, but like I don't know, the offenses are very stagnant this year for some reason. I don't get it.
I kind of think that's a little bit better for the Chiefs, though.
It is.
Because do you want the Chiefs scoring 40 a game now in October, then hit a lull, and then slow down before the playoffs?
It's
Or
really the opposite the past couple of years. Their defense stunk
stinks.
Yeah.
the past couple of years at the beginning, and then like really picked it up with Spags.
I always think that offense can get going.
Oh, 100%.
So I'd rather have it like
definitely that
building towards, you know what I mean?
If Patrick Mahomes, if any other quarterback in the league had Patrick Mahomes as receivers, we'd be like, well, they have no receivers. Like
Right.
we'd be looking at them as like
100%.
one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL. But he makes up for how bad they look.
Oh, it's probably like it's one of the worst wide receiving cores out there.
With the salary cap,
He
like,
just, but
you
he,
can't
you
keep
could
these
argue
guys around.
he is a top like 5 receiving threat in the league. You could argue.
Yeah.
With the, you guys mentioning how the Bills and Chiefs are like who are the top teams. The Bills aren't even the best team in the division. I mean, Dolphins are a better team than the
Yeah.
Bills, I think.
Well,
It's tough to say that when they just beat them by
shit out of the
28.
Dolphins.
They beat them by 28.
But I
last
still,
week.
I do
Terms of
actually
record, though,
I still do believe. I think you're right, and I think the Dolphins are better than them. Obviously, anything can happen, but I still think the Dolphins are better.
I don't know.
I think it's a matchup thing.
I also think home field comes into play big time
Yeah.
with them.
It does.
The team, I said it forever, he's not in my VIP section yet, but the team kind of under the radar. I know he just got banged up. The Jags might be like the one I'm looking at if I'm gonna go off the grid in the AFC, because I don't know if I trust the Chargers. We'll find out tonight. Bengals getting better, but there's something that's just missing.
3-3 going into the bye though.
There's something missing, though. You would agree that they're not.
But the Colts, when you look
I
at
just
the,
think they've done it the last few years. They've had like the same scenario kind of.
He hasn't played that.
and the
great.
Colts had Gardner Minshew starting. Like Gardner Minshew's not gonna win you a game.
No, I thought Minshew was going to come in and play well.
I think my
His
Really,
magic
yeah.
ran
My
out.
take
I'm just
on
saying
him
more
is-
so like, elimination or subtraction, addition by subtraction, or process of elimination is what I was trying to say.
the Jags throw up a lot of. I get what you mean. It's as a dark.
Ravens
horse,
throw up duds. I know they won the other.
The Ravens
always play down.
Who would you rather right now?
Bills play
Who
down.
would you rather take? Would you rather take the Ravens or the Jaguars?
in a playoff game,
Raven. I just
Take
think
the
I
Ravens.
take the Jaguars.
Really? I'm a
Oh
Ravens.
yeah, I'd rather have the Jags.
I think just for value, I'm taking the Jags.
I mean, the Ravens' defense is really good.
that's kind of what I was thinking. I'd rather have their defense.
And
with
Lamar is still Lamar. when
Lamar is
he's
playing
on.
really well, and if you look at his stats, he's playing very well.
But you're also talking history in the playoffs, and I know Clemmer doesn't give a shit about this, but in especially recent history, you know what you're getting out of the Ravens in the playoffs. This isn't, Joe Flacco 2013 anymore. You don't know what you're getting out of the Jags, and they gave Kansas City really run for their money last year until Chad Henne came in and ended that. So I can only see the Jags going up.
They didn't cover a double-digit spread in that game.
I thought it was close, wasn't it?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
So I remember I had the Jags plus 10, and they did not cover.
He didn't cover?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was a one-score game.
They,
until
they
Chad
kept
Henne
the
came
Colts. The Colts, like they were running away with it, the Jags, and then the Colts. They kind of let the Colts back in
in.
a little
Okay.
bit.
Well, who
Then
they
Minshew threw an
who they
interception.
beat in the first round? The Jags.
Chargers when they were down big.
A miracle, yeah. I
Don't
did
take
think,
the Jags.
I did think yesterday was kind of a shitty slate.
27-20.
I know we had some.
27-20.
Okay.
Maybe it was maybe the spread was. You know what? Maybe that might have been the spread in the regular season was 10.
You had some one-score games.
Maybe it was
but
6.5. They didn't cover in the playoffs.
a lot of grossness early. So cherish every Sunday. It's all you got. So, I guess we'll kind of go down
Let's
and
just go. Let's
and
go
touch
through
base.
the
Well,
AFC
we'll touch the teams because this one
Yeah.
touches too. Philly Jets. Jets 20-14. Jalen Hurts 3 interceptions. Smitty, where is the panic meter? Clemmer, when are you setting up the Super Bowl parade?
First of all, it's baseball season, so let's get that straight. Second of all, Jalen Hurts didn't play the best game, especially that last interception. The other two kind of weren't his fault, and DeAndre Swift had a fumble. It's an ugly, shitty game that they hopefully overlooked, and you can take away from it being a wake-up game. They haven't played good all year. I was talking to Booze before. They should have lost to the Commanders. Every game other than the Rams, really hasn't been a cover for the spread. I know they covered against the Pats. Injuries are piling up. Lane Johnson being out with a surgically repaired ankle. That's huge. They gotta get better on defense injury wise. Like they're not playing with that confidence that they were last year and getting things done. They're kind of resting on their laurels, and they got bit in the dick yesterday, and now they're coming up through a gauntlet of games that they're really going to have to show up for. But as far as like people coming down on Jalen Hurts, look, you know what he is in his last 25 regular season games?
22-3.
23-2.
Wow.
Let him to a Super
I
Bowl
don't think
win.
anyone should come down on him, but what his last mistake is inexcusable, where it's like there's no reason to – if you have a point to have fucking Zach Wilson go 70 yards after that, you cannot throw a pick there. Or you have to like throw it away or something. Like their defense was not going to let up a touchdown to
I didn't
Wasn't it stupid that they threw it in general?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying,
well,
too.
you
You
could
should
have
almost, like-
punted there on third down, and they probably would have won the game.
100%.
And I agree with you. It was a bad interception. It was a awful play. But I'm not gonna. He's earned the right to make that mistake and not get shit on.
I don't like
And the
when
Eagles played a really bad game up until that point and still had an opportunity to really win.
people are week to week with quarterbacks. They're like, oh, Jalen Hurts is horrible. It's like he had a bad game. It's fine.
He has regressed a little bit this year. He threw 6 interceptions last year. He has 7 or 8 this year.
Yeah.
He's got to figure it out a little bit, but even if he's not playing at the MVP caliber that he was last year, still playing pretty good overall. And they'll be fine. They're not steamrolling teams like they were last year, but they'll be fine.
Also, I mean, give the Jets a little credit. I mean, solid after the game. I mean, they've played all the best quarterbacks, and none of them had a good game against the Jets.
Yeah, Jets defense.
Holmes looked awful through like 3 picks.
Yeah.
Allen looked horrible through 3 picks. Harris last night. I mean, there's people that would argue that's the top 3 quarterbacks in the league.
I'm not gonna lie. Zach Wilson looked like a pretty competent quarterback too. I mean,
He's found something since the game.
he was
competent
using
enough.
Garrett Wilson the way Garrett Wilson should be used.
Mahomes was
The guy
running him.
did nothing yesterday. I love it. He didn't do much. He just did nothing wrong. And
Exactly.
you're like,
No.
yep,
That's all he needs
That's all he needs to
So
do.
it's just funny where
Also
like
a really good
where like Jalen Hurts is like, oh, he sucks. When it's like Zach Wilson did nothing, but he's the better quarterback.
Zach Wilson has been
It's
playing
just
better
a
since
funny-
that Chiefs game.
100%.
Play anyway.
And
Just saying
But
it's
even the
funny.
credit in the Chiefs game, man, they gave him a run in that game.
I'll say this
Late,
though: if
and
we
He
play,
doesn't fumble there, they probably
Smashed
win.
early, and then it's like,
He
yeah.
doesn't fumble, they win.
And
if you play that Eagles game 10 times, though, the Eagles win 8 of those times.
I have a trivia question for the crew. The last 4 quarterbacks to beat Jalen Hurts in a game. Do you know who they are? I tweeted it out yesterday.
One of them, Zach Wilson.
One of them's
Mhm.
Tom Brady.
Yes, that's 2. You know the other 2?
So it was,
I know the other two.
Mahomes and
I feel like it's a Commander's
Commanders.
shitbag quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a shitbag.
Heineke.
Heineke.
Yep.
Should
That's
probably
it.
be starting next week.
Who's the 4th?
Hey, Riddick's
got
look better.
Mahomes,
Brady in the
Oh,
playoffs 2
Mahomes.
years ago.
Mahomes. Got it. Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Now the Jets have a bye week next week, and then we play your Giants after that. So it's like I'm looking at that schedule. I'm like, all right, starting to ease up a little bit. Then you got the Chargers, and then you got the Raiders. So it's like, all right, if we can kind of maybe cobble some stuff together, like, yeah, I'm
Plus Rodgers waiting in the wings, like with
The
the
guy
miracle
throwing
surgery.
on the field already.
that was crazy.
I think
crazy.
I wrote that down in
He's playing week like 15.
in terms of
I
like
hope
true,
so.
man.
true false.
They're
The Jets are
they're like
Jets are
8,
very
like-
good.
False.
False.
very good, strong.
Very good is
Very good defense.
much.
No, great,
very good
great
de-
Very
Very
good
good
defense,
defense.
and that's with no secondary yesterday. Zero
Yeah,
secondary.
both corners.
You look at the
No
Jets.
sauce.
You look at the Jets resume against the Eagles resume. Jets have better wins.
I wouldn't call them very good. I'd call them frisky.
I don't think. I think they're better.
Problem
They're
is,
better than 3-3 with the teams.
And I listen. I don't think that I'll never try to give the Jets credit, but I wanted to give them their flowers here because they're battling through. They lost obviously Rodgers. They were dead in the water, but like we said, these world class quarterbacks are coming in, and it's a nightmare scenario every week for the
guess
Jets.
what?
So in terms of a football team and doing what you're supposed to do and managing the game and relying on defense, I do think they're playing very good. Put
You
it
have
that way.
two of the
they're
best
built strong right now.
wide receivers coming in against you from the Eagles, and you don't even have Sauce Gardner, and that's
And we didn't-
still.
and we didn't have our
And I know the
number 2
Eagles had.
quarterback.
I know
the
the Eagles.
corner either.
I know, but the Eagles had also injuries as well. But
yeah, but
still, like,
also, I mean, Devontae Smith dropped a pass that he never has dropped in his career and will never drop again.
Last
so.
2 games, he's been a little like. I don't know.
I think they're sleepwalking a little bit.
I also
think they
think it
need
could
a
be
kick in the dick.
Devontae Smith is now a dad. It could be the dad Dad curse.
What does that matter?
That's supposed to make you better.
Yeah, what does that matter being bad?
I've seen players like drop off right
Name one.
I can't,
OJ?
not off the top of my head, but Devontae.
No, Devontae's not doing worse. I think it's more like they're playing.
He just dropped the
teams
ball.
No, he just hasn't. He's looked a little like he hasn't looked like Devonta Smith. To be
The
honest.
reason I haven't completely bought into this Jets team is that they have to play perfect to win, and that can be very frustrating and
Well, yeah.
scary to watch. Like if we make a mistake, like if Zach throws an interception, we're probably gonna lose that game.
Which is very likely, unfortunately.
You had 4 turnovers and you
He
won
makes a
by
mistake,
and
yeah.
you barely won. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
where it's like you have not even playing perfect. You have to play better than perfect.
But the schedule does ease up though, so like we have gotten through the worst of it. Now it's not easy. We still have to play the Dolphins twice, so like it's not easy. But like the teams left are a lot easier than the teams we just faced.
Yeah, the wild card right now. Steelers are in the second wild card spot. They're 3-2. The Browns are 3-2. Jesus Christ, the 3 teams out of the mix, all 500. Who would have thought this? Colts, Texans, and Jets, all 3-3. Right there. Like the AFC is. Yeah,
Texans might make the playoffs.
They're a good
at that
team.
point.
CJ Stroud is very good.
Really good.
Yeah. I want, if anyone catches me, do it again. Walk over or walk up to me unexpectedly and just punch me right in the face. Do you know what the Saints are under-wise in their last 16 games? Under 15.
They always go under.
15-1. And I just keep taking the fucking overs,
They
and it's
suck.
right there. Last week lost by 2 points. If they score the touchdown this week, I'm in. Like, and the stuff that the Saints do is so frustrating. They're put them in the graveyard already. I know it's.
You've
but
taken in both
I saw that stat. I go 15-1.
in college football and in NFL. You've taken 2 of the worst, like most frustrating teams to watch.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is god awful.
If Mordecai doesn't get hurt, they're controlling that side.
Dude, they
and
suck.
win the
They're
game.
He
so
sucks.
bad, dude.
Rico.
They're
Rico.
so
Because they
bad.
played Iowa.
Mordecai-
Iowa sucks too.
Mordecai has always sucked, and you
Okay.
just can't get it through your head. He sucked in the preseason. He sucked last year. He sucks
so
now.
bad.
So frustrating. That you still
What
can't come to
preseason?
terms.
And you know who
What the
sucks
fuck is the
too?
preseason in college?
He
You watching
fucking
tape?
sucked at SMU.
And you know who sucks too? Derek Carr.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He is not a quarterback
not the
that
same.
it's like he has weapons. He's got weapons around him. Olave is a great receiver. Kamara's back. Michael Thomas is not as
They should be
himself.
very
He's
good.
healthy.
He's healthy. Like
Playing good.
he
What's the
has
fun-
offense around him where it's like, dude, he's a bad quarterback. He
And their
makes bad
defense is pretty
decisions.
good.
You know what the
Defense
fun?
is great.
You know what the fun thing about futures is? You can always go back for some more.
Yeah, all right, we know that.
You don't
Put
like
it on
the,
the quote
you
card.
you don't like the first plate? Go back and get another one. Yeah, so that one sucked. Ravens win early in London. Browns steal one to the 49ers. All the talk of the 49ers.
Well, how
are
about the
undefeated.
Titans not covering?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was great for myself.
Like, Derrick Henry's right there. I mean, yeah, only a minute 40 left, but you're at the, 2-3 yard line, first and goal? It's tough.
49ers, Browns steal one with P.J. Walker, not even fucking Deshaun Watson.
Browns defense.
What do
Very
you
sad.
think? Do you think it's more disappointing for the 49ers to lose that game or for the Eagles to lose to the Jets?
No,
Eagles.
I don't think you
Eagles.
want. I don't think you want the 0 next to you.
I think they're both
I'm
kind of
actually okay with
I think
that.
the Eagles more just because the 49ers, Debo went down,
Yes.
McCaffrey went down.
Yeah, but like
They
also
won.
at the same time, like
It's a
Eagles were
single
already
game.
dealing with a ton of injuries. Like we didn't have Slay, we didn't have
Yeah, your whole offense.
Yeah,
Jalen
wait a
Carter,
second. You know who
Lane
the-
Johnson went down.
You know who the most pressure is on between the 49ers and the Eagles after yesterday? The Lions. They now have the best record in the NFL.
You know,
I'm telling you,
I pulled it right up. just
another
as you
good
said it.
performance yesterday. I'm officially on myself putting them in upper echelon of the NFC. I'm doing it.
Same.
That's the true
I
false
said
I
it
have.
last week that I was like, I'm doing it. If no one's buying on them, that's fine. Their defense is so much better than last year, and that was their thing last year. Their offense was good, but they'd be in shootouts every game because their defense couldn't stop anyone. Their defense is really good now with a great offensive line, quarterback that's making good decisions, good weapons everywhere. They're a for real team. I think they're a legit contender.
True false. Lions can make the Super Bowl.
True. I think they're real.
I
think they're
still
real.
think some things have to go right, but here's where I'm at.
Of course, but everything has to go
Between-
right.
100%.
Between the three teams, I think it's going to come down to whoever gets home field advantage.
Well, to Smitty, to your point, Smitty, 5-1 at the Ravens, tough. Raiders, bye week, at Chargers. Okay, if they steal it, that tells me like that's a real big one. Bears, Packers, at Saints, who stink, at Bears, Broncos, stink, at Vikings, stink.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I think they can win
They
any
play
one.
the Cowboys at the Cowboys December 30th
They're gonna win
on a
12
Saturday night, and then it's Vikings
weak
again.
schedule.
Yeah, Rico, I mean,
Real weak schedule.
So you're chalking the Ravens up as an L there. I think they can go in and win against the Ravens. I think they can
I'm
beat the
just,
Cowboys.
I'm
I know.
being, I'm being
They
can beat any team.
anybody on a
safe,
given day.
100%. But I'm just being safe in terms of the schedule because I don't know if you can get more than 3 losses and still have home field the way
then
the
again-
49ers are.
And again, they lost at home to the Seahawks. So I
So-
mean, the parity's there.
I'm looking at odds right now.
Because the 49ers don't have a tough schedule either.
I'm looking at the odds right now to win the AFC and the NFC. The AFC has a lot of disparity. Like you got like plus 1,200 with the Jaguars, and that's like pretty. That's like the 6th team. So like the AFC's pretty open. The NFC, according to the odds, it's like Niners, Eagles, Cowboys, Lions, then a deep drop off to the Seahawks at plus 19,000.
Yeah.
Makes
NFC
sense.
is
Like it's
very
top,
top
it's a
heavy.
Yeah, top heavy.
Smitty, you got a tough schedule, dude.
Yeah, they're going through the gauntlet right now.
Well,
It's
the-
like
with
literally
the
after
Giants-
after
Season's
this
a
week.
tough
the
schedule.
Giants scheduled us. We just went through. They're about to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the
Well, Chiefs,
it's,
Bills, Cowboys again.
Let me get it. Dolphins, Commanders, Cowboys, bye, at Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys. You're even lucky to get fucking 2 wins out of that. At Seahawks, Giants again is they're still gonna fight. Cardinals
Seahawks are pretty good too.
and then at Giants again.
Giants have sucked, but they've had that same schedule in the beginning. It's brutal.
Why did the Eagles and Giants play 2 of the last 3 weeks? Like the past 5 years?
hasn't it
That's
seemed
so
like that
fucking
for the last like
stupid.
5 years.
Yeah.
It's been like
Well, there's always gonna be a division game. Correct me if I'm wrong. The last week is always division game.
Yeah, but why is it
Why
the
is
same
this
team?
first
Yeah,
one?
Yeah,
because
it's
it was
been
like
the
this
Giants.
last year too.
yeah, it's been the Giants for the last like 3-4 seasons.
Well, there's only 3, but yeah, I guess I get your point.
It's
I
like
don't,
what-
I don't like the
weird
yeah.
things. I feel like.
So,
Who
but yeah, I
is,
think the Lions could get the home field for sure. I don't know if they get the one,
who's
but
your MVP right now.
this
This is the most wide open it's been.
Probably like Tua.
2 is the favorite at 400.
You got to put McCaffrey.
Mahomes is plus 450.
yeah, but not if
here's
now
a
he's
hot
hurt.
take.
He loses one.
Right, but he said
Tyreek
like
Hill.
as of right now, like
He's only 187 yards away in week 6 from 1,000 yards.
He's 60-1. It's not crazy.
I swear Goff should be in consideration.
But Tua, should he be?
In consideration. I'm not saying like give him the trophy, but
He's 20-1. He's the same as Lamar Jackson, so he's in
The problem is
consideration.
when Tyreek Hill puts up ridiculous stats, it also means Tua is putting up ridiculous.
That's the problem.
that's why I think Tua will steal from. But I mean, Tyreek he could legit go for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, if he goes bananas with how many touchdowns does he have already?
He's got to have at least like.
Oh, God, him and Mostert have the highest duo through.
Yeah.
Tyreek's got to have 4 or 5
history.
touchdowns at least.
I was thinking this the other day. Do you think that Antonio Brown was the best wide receiver in the NFL for 8 years? Do you think Tyreek Hill finally surpasses him? Like, is that not even a question?
Say it again, sorry.
Do you think Tyreek Hill is a better wide receiver all time than Antonio Brown?
Yes.
Because people forget how dominant Antonio Brown was for that stretch.
It's tough.
Hill only got the 1 Super Bowl with
Tyreek
the-
Hill's been pretty dominant. For
I know.
Basically since he stepped
Yeah,
out.
I think
since
I'm
he
ready to
started.
say
He's been dominant literally since he's
stepped in the
game
league.
1,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Hill only got the 1 Super Bowl. Because
Yeah,
last year he
I
was
think- I
gone,
think-
right?
You're
I
factoring
think
that
it's
much in
Hill.
for wide receivers.
What?
Super Bowl wins for wide receivers.
I'm just more so like Brown had a couple more Super, or at least
No,
one
he just
more.
had the
He only
Bucks.
had 1.
Brown never got one with the Steelers.
No, that's how disappointed they were. He
Then I'm
had
an
the best
idiot.
running back,
Oh,
best
all
wide
right.
receiver, and
So then,
Big Ben.
okay, fair. I stand correct. That's how much I remember Antonio Brown being there for what felt like
yeah,
forever.
8 years.
I think Tyreek's better.
I do too. I was thinking about it the other day.
If he was there for 8 years,
No, he's there maybe.
He wasn't the
longer.
best receiver for 8 years. He was for
No,
like
he
4 or
can't-
5.
He had some ridiculous numbers.
Like
for 8
4
years.
4 or 5 stretch. He was like the guy.
It took him like 3 years to get going. Because
Yes.
remember they had who they had? They had Mike Wallace
Yeah.
who was ahead of him, and who was the other? I mean, even
Hines
Hines Ward
Ward.
was still there.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the other name.
the
but-
Steelers
See,
last
like,
Super Bowl.
the-
Miller?
I think people are forgetting how good Antonio Brown.
No,
was.
no, for like
He
a
was
for like a
legit.
for
He
like
was
a
legit.
for like a 4-year stretch, he was the best receiver in the NFL.
I also think it definitely benefits you to play in this day and age of air it the fuck out. He's got a lot
Tyreek's-
more.
Like he's unguardable.
I'm not saying he's not elite, but it definitely you can't. They don't want to touch wide receivers. Guys are throwing it more. Can't touch quarterbacks. Like it's very pass.
Tyreek Hill doesn't get the credit. Well, one because he has a bad pass, and 2 because he's small.
just
So
jumping off
fast.
what
If
you
he
guys
was like,
said.
if he was a 6'2", he'd be like this guy's best receiver that ever. He'd be like we're talking about like.
I don't
Randy
think
Moss.
he got a lot of credit too because like it was Mahomes, like he had Mahomes and stuff, and I think now he's getting a little bit more because it's like he's doing it on a different team.
But I think
Facts.
I think the shape of wide receivers has changed. It's not the old Megatron, got to be 6'4", like tall, run up and get it. You can with the play calling now. Like, is it crazy to say that Edelman's one of the 10 best receivers we've seen in the last?
But like when you
It's
look at
crazy nuts.
It'd be insane actually.
but would
Yeah.
you,
One of the craziest
coming from
statements
me,
you've
and I
ever
love him.
said.
I would, but I would say like
I fucking went out and did it a lot.
AJ Brown's one of
well,
those
no,
big
you just
guys,
on the
right?
Patriots. But I'm saying play
Tom
like
Brady did it.
yeah, name 10 receivers in the last decade better than him. I think you name 10 in the league right now better, like easily.
Yeah.
I don't think
He was a he was a playmaker. He always caught it. He was a gamer. Good routes.
Yeah, but he's
Key routes.
a guy you want on your team. He's like, but
He's
what-
a very good football player. But he's
He-
just not a top.
he
like-
wasn't close to Wes Welker's talent.
Fair.
I mean, you're just taking guys
Yeah.
like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Keenan, like names that you would take. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like all the. There's a ton of guys I would take before him, but he was a great player.
Can I shout out the chat really quick?
Guys I want on my team, I'm taking Edelman though. So
Agreed.
Of course, you want him on your team.
Chat said someone in the chat said that Tyreek Hill is like Steph Curry. I kind of like the comparison.
I don't hate that.
Do you guys know when the Steelers' last playoff win was?
Tell us, Phil.
12.
No,
we're
more
recent than that.
2017 AFC Championship. They played the Patriots.
So, and they beat the Chiefs in the divisional round that year without scoring a touchdown. So it's been 6 years
They
since the
haven't won a
Steelers' last
playoff
playoff win.
game in 6 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, they lost to the Browns. Remember that?
Yep.
they lost to the Jaguars and they were stacked.
They lost last year.
But it's one of those things like if you get rid of Tomlin,
They're
not
not
gonna-
getting
they're
rid
not
of
you
gonna-
definitely
they're not
have
getting
the
rid of
guy. Like,
They're not getting rid of Tom.
are you completely changing? You bring in a guy like McDaniel, and then the Steelers.
If anything, they
completely
get rid of
change their
Canada
identity?
first. They're already calling for his head.
1000%.
They're not getting rid of him. I'm saying that's a crazy stat. Like 6 years,
Yeah.
no playoff
Yeah,
wins
it
for a
is.
Hall of Fame head coach.
And the Steelers are also not the kind of team like their ownership. They're not the kind of team that just moves on from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to hear something nuts? Mike Tomlin's already been there longer than Bill Cowher.
yeah, he's been
Which
there
is
forever.
wild.
Crazy.
Wild.
I mean, he's been there since what 2008.
Yeah.
Why did Cowher?
He just retired.
Cowher retired.
He just retired.
I know, but did he just?
His wife got sick too.
Oh, okay.
After a while.
I was
and he
wondering,
had
like,
the
you look at a
daughter.
guy now. How old's Andy Reid? 70.
No, he's not that old. No, Andy Reid's younger than Belichick.
Probably.
Oh, how old's Belichick? 63.
No, Belichick's
Nah, he's like
like
68.
late
yeah.
60s, yeah.
Belichick's like, yeah, I think
These
Andy
guys are
Reid's early
coaching now for a long. Like, if you look at Cowher, it sucks
Pete-
his
Pete
wife. I didn't
Carroll?
know that. That is,
I-
yeah, Pete Carroll.
Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Lombardi, they were there for like 30 years.
Right. Cowher, yeah. The other guy I thought could have got a job, and it felt like he left pretty quick was Brian Billick.
Yeah, I always thought he'd get another job.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens.
I mean, I think he probably could have if he wanted to.
He really, never mind.
Some of the guys, I think he caught lightning in a bottle with that team. I mean,
He really benefited with the talent of that on that team.
100%.
He didn't build that team.
You know
That's
who-
all I'll say.
Also helped going up against
that's,
rest in peace.
are you saying Belichick built that team?
I'm not saying
He didn't.
I didn't say that. I
Belichick
did not
beat
say that.
Bill too.
It was like a lot of
The
players. from that
fucking
team.
Ravens.
Yeah.
How long?
Oh
built
yeah,
it-
yeah, yeah.
He-
How
but
long's
he did,
Harbaugh
though.
been with
He
the
did, though.
the Ravens?
He built the second run.
He's been the same amount as.
Harbaugh's been there for at
he's
least-
been
He
like
was
the
in
same
that
amount as
Super Bowl
Tomlin.
game, which is at least 2012.
Yeah.
I
think
felt
they-
like he
I
wouldn't have
think he
got there
started-
as a first-year coach.
Didn't
So
he
I'm going to
start
say
the same
12 years for
time as
Harbaugh.
Tomlin?
What?
Didn't Harbaugh and Tomlin start the same year?
About.
I'm going to say 12 years. For
They're like
Harbaugh.
good friends. I know because they. playing each other.
Harbaugh was like one of the first coaches to be a position coach and just take over.
He was a
Yeah.
special teams coach.
He was special teams, then he was secondary coach because he knew he wasn't going to get a head coaching position.
Do you think Andy Reid beats Bill Belichick in wins?
Regular season?
I don't know if
He's
it's.
got a really good
He
chance.
might, yeah.
I think he's at like 270, and I think Bill Belichick's like 320 something.
No, Belichick's like 298. The
Yeah.
record's like
Lot.
320.
As long as Mahomes there,
Well, that's regular season.
He'd have to
Regular
coach a lot longer.
Record is like Shula, like
Think about it though.
20 something.
Mahomes is at least 10 more years.
But it's just whether Reid wants to coach. He could. I mean, a guy like Mahomes would never keep you around.
you're guaranteed 10, 11 wins a year.
One guy's
I mean,
pretty
no,
much
he-
barely getting
It's
6
literally
more
just.
wins.
It's honestly almost as if he wants to get it or not.
If I was Andy Reid,
wants to stick
I would
around.
work out one of those deals where it's like, listen, I'm just head coach in name only. Find the guy underneath him and be like, you're running it. And he
Yeah.
sometimes maybe puts on the sunglasses. You watch him like nod off. But Mahomes, just find Mahomes, find a good offense coordinator,
Well,
and
the-
collect
well,
the wins
the-
on
the
your
late
thing.
Joe Paterno,
and even
angle.
flop it and just be like, whatever you're gonna pay me as a head coach, pay this guy, and I'll take the down thing because he's running the team.
But I will say this. I mean, since Mahomes has been there, they've won the rings. I mean, they've had a multitude of offensive coordinators, guys.
Oh, it's come out when and I've always been the number one Andy Reid supporter from my time as Philadelphia Eagles. It came out last year. Remember the 2 touchdown passes where guys were just wide open? He thought it was breakdowns in the secondary. Came out. Andy Reid designed those plays.
Yeah. He's still sharp. Yeah, he's really
the
sharp.
offensive mind.
By the way, Bill Belichick 71.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just going off Tomlin and Harbaugh. Harbaugh came in 2008, if you guys were curious. And I've seen reports, if you're the Steelers and you fire Tomlin, he just goes straight to the Chargers, right? Like, teams just fire their coaches if someone like Tomlin opens up, right?
Oh, Tomlin 100%.
100.
Oh,
yeah.
Right? Like, I've seen, like,
I'd want Tomlin.
someone
for
was like,
sure.
okay, fire Tomlin, fire Belichick. The Chargers will jump on that so fast.
They should.
I don't think they'll ever fire him, though.
Shit, would the Giants make a run? I know Dable's.
Dable's too, dude.
No.
I think if anything, the Commanders let go of Ron Rivera.
I'm shocked the Commanders didn't let him go after the Bears loss.
Yeah.
He
Should have let him go last year.
so many times. And
The
we gotta
only
stop calling him Riverboat.
No, that's done.
You go that Eagles game
not done. They
where
should
you
fucking
basically
call him
lose
that
the-
stupid.
yeah, where you lose a game for him because he's not Riverboat Ron.
Yes.
Go for it instead of kicking the field goal, and then the next week come out at home and lose to the fucking Bears in that
Yes.
fashion.
They called him Riverboat yesterday, and I was like, you gotta stop calling him that. It's insane.
That's the most conservative play caller there is.
Yeah.
If the Patriots and Belichick do part ways after the season, which is very possible, do you think Belichick will get a job somewhere else? I'm guessing he would, right?
People keep saying him.
72 though.
Keep saying him to the Chargers.
I think he just brings too much.
I think he will never coach for another team other than the Patriots.
I think he will. He really wants
I don't think
Shula's
so.
record.
He wants Shula's record really bad.
But I also think there's a possibility where it's just like, I have all these Super Bowls. Who really
It's
cares?
a lot of baggage. You don't
I
want
don't
to
think-
see him.
But I will say one thing in defense of Belichick is if he gets to choose, just like Brady got to choose where he goes, if Belichick got to choose which team he got to go to, would be intriguing.
I didn't think Tom Brady would ever play for another team besides.
I didn't either.
So
imagine
it's like,
imagine if the Patriots do fire him and he goes to the Raiders and just takes McDaniel's job.
Belichick would be salty if he got let go after this year.
Yeah, do you think
They're not letting him.
He could send
He
a
might
huge
have.
fuck you to the
They're not-
Patriots and be like, fuck you,
Robert
watch
Kraft.
this.
Robert Kraft is not firing Bill Belichick.
Dukes, you
What's gonna happen?
They're just gonna go ride him out.
No.
way.
F. That's
No way.
wrong. That's wrong.
I don't know, man.
He's old. He wants another Super Bowl. He wants to at least be
He
competitive.
ain't going nowhere.
He either will
going
tell
nowhere.
Bill, like, fire him as the GM or fucking cut
He's
him.
he's 29 wins away from Shula. He's got a long way to go.
Is it a very real possibility
is.
that the Patriots get the number 1 pick?
So, did you see how many 1-5 teams there are?
the Bears still have 1 and 2.
I was looking at like Drake May highlights last night, hoping we were like the second pick right now. We're 6.
Breaking
I mean,
news from
the
the
Bears
chat.
right now would have 1 and 2.
Breaking news from the chat. Bowers is done.
No, he's
Georgia.
out indefinitely.
Sorry.
Or Georgia?
I'm hearing
Getting
surgery.
Shit.
He's out indefinitely, not for the season.
Dukes,
Yo,
do you honestly think Belichick would be successful somewhere else? His biggest downfall right now is not adapting to the game the way it's being played. Do you think him being an old man curmudgeon and going to another team is going to like have a real big impact?
I think that if he goes to the Chargers and he just lets whoever runs the Chargers offense pick the offensive personnel, they have a great offense over there.
They do
He
have a lot of
fixes the
weapons.
defense. He has all control of it. The defense is never going to be the problem with Bill.
Do you think he'll have the pride enough to do that, though?
His ego might get knocked, and he might be extra motivated if Robert Kraft lets him
And the
go.
question is,
that's
too-
disrespect right there. Everything you've done for the franchise and everything, like he would feel
I'm saying
disrespect.
they're not
The
going to let
bigger
him go.
question is, could Belichick fix Herbert?
I don't know what's there to
What
fix.
does he need to fix?
oh,
like-
win more.
Win more.
Just
Yeah.
shape
I
him.
agree.
I mean,
with
Bill-
Booze.
That- that's
Hey, I like
the
that
defense.
Booze. That a
He's not
boy.
like-
Tune
He's
him.
not what needs fixing.
That a boy, Booze.
Fine-tune
He
him.
needs a lot of
That's the
fixing.
defense, though. He'd fix the defense. He'd be like, all right, like we have this guy that can put up 35 points per game. I haven't had this in
Is
a long
Bill
time.
Bill
Belichick gonna
Belichick
fix the defense?
has not
though?
won without Tom Brady.
Why did
I think he could win with Justin Herbert. We're like,
That's
he's-
fair. That's fair.
Like
That's
I think
fair.
I think he
But
could
their
win with top
defense
5
is
quarterbacks.
so
Herbert's
bad.
an exceptional talent.
I don't think he can fix that defense.
Yeah, but that
completely.
offense.
Oh, I think he could.
that
I
offense.
don't.
so, I mean, the
he should fix his own then.
I mean, the
easiest.
defense isn't the problem. We lost two of our best players on defense in 2 plays.
There's
The whole team's a problem. It's not just the offense.
Team was bad going into the season.
The defense is
Dukes.
like I'm not worried really about the defense at all.
That offense, though, and the decisions that were being made, I mean, we didn't say it. I'm sure some smart people picked up on it, but Jacoby Myers' first touchdown last week, that was almost a given.
It looks great.
I have an interesting
Did you say
healthy
it, Hef?
debate.
Yeah, I played it.
Played it?
Interesting, healthy debate here.
He scored the first of the last 2 weeks, actually.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, against the Patriots.
Yeah, and he had it. Yeah, he had it.
He did it last week as well. I had it with my boys.
Yeah, no, I mean Patriots Twitter is up in arms.
Also,
about it. We signed
Myers-
Juju Smith-Schuster instead of fucking
Myers
Jacoby
and
Myers.
Adams have the same exact hair, one number off, the same height. They look exactly the same in the game.
What do you got, Phil?
So my bad.
All right,
tried
I
to
watched him just.
Yeah. So Jets Patriots week 18. Let's say the Jets need to win and in for the playoffs, and the Pats need to lose in order to secure the number 1 pick. Would Pats fans want to ruin the Jets' playoff hopes and sacrifice Caleb Williams, Drake May?
I would much rather have the Patriots win that game. I'd rather take an offensive lineman with the 8th pick in the NFL draft than see the Jets make the playoffs.
That's how
all because of that fuck
Belichick's
up behind the
wired
glass over
too.
there.
All week they'd be like, Bill, if you lose, he'd be like,
I tried to warn you. You
we
should be
don't lose
nice to
football
me.
Games. We don't play to lose. Like that's how he's programmed. Let me do Omaha Steaks real quick. We'll whip around the NFL, kind of finish it out. Fall is in the air, and that's what we're looking forward to. Crisp mornings, falling leaves, and sweater weather. More importantly, it's perfect time for fall grilling, tailgating, and cozy comfort food. Omaha Steaks has all your fall cravings covered with 50% off site-wide during their semi-annual sale. That's 50% off all your favorite tender, juicy, extra aged steaks like their Butcher's Chop filet mignons. Go to omahasteaks.com today and use code PICKS at checkout and get an extra $30 off your order. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value on incredible entrees, scrumptious sides, and decadent desserts, and more. Omaha Steaks equals the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready when you want to grill, all backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guaranteed. With 50% off site-wide, it's the perfect time to grab fall grilling favorites, cozy comfort meals, decadent desserts, and so much more. Plus, you'll save an extra $30 when you use promo code PICKS at checkout, and every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and shop this semi-annual sale today. All right, anything else kind of stand out in terms of the NFL? I got one that's lurking in the weeds. Rams. I know they beat the Chargers. The Cardinals. Rams back to 3-3.
I love.
Like, is there anybody?
They're solid.
I like the Rams, man.
I'm trying to think.
Cooper Kupp's he's a
Texans
game
3-3.
changer.
Falcons are 3-3. Ritter had some bad interceptions yesterday. He had his first loss at home in his career.
I guess it's one of those, like, is there anybody, in the weeds or a team you've been watching? Hey, this team is pesky. This team's great against the spread. I like the offense. Keep an eye on anything that jumps out. Smitty, Clemmer around the league.
They're great until Stafford has something happen.
Yep.
That's what it is. Well, not great, but I mean they'll be
They're pretty
serviceable.
good. I don't.
They
know
are good.
why. I think that they're going to get better too with Cooper Kupp coming back and the offense going. I don't
Or
know.
a wild card like team.
Yeah.
It's out to you.
I think we kind of saw who the Buccaneers were a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. I think their defense is.
You told me
very-
they were like. I mean,
What do you mean, Rico?
I would say
think
they're-
Baker also was hurt. So does it matter? They got hurt a little bit? No.
How?
Yeah.
Right now, who's winning the South?
The Bucks.
I still think it could be
No.
the Saints.
Why?
I mean, it really could be the.
But why is it guys?
Really
so,
could be 3 of the 14.
Why is it? Why is so? I'm not even just saying it. Like the Bucks' defense is very good. They kept them to
Solid.
20
you
points.
said I said before
Lions.
the Lions. This is gonna be easy. This is my pick of the week. Though is an easy cover for the Lions, and then you're like, no, the Bucks are gonna win this game.
And
And it wasn't even close.
It was definitely not close. It was 20-6, and they dropped Mike Evans dropped a ton of balls yesterday. Baker did not play great at all. But it's their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games where Baker is not going to play that bad.
It showed you a great divide between who the Lions are and who the Bucks are.
We're not talking about that though. We're talking about the division.
But I think you had it much closer.
Yeah, that's
Before the
fine.
game.
But we're talking about the division now.
They
Where
could
the Saints
win the division.
Saints are
They could win
dog
the
shit.
division.
The
Yeah,
Saints
that's
just
a really
lost-
bad
I
division.
just think they showed, and now they showed it twice with the Eagles game too. When they play good teams, they're not good.
Bucks schedule is interesting coming up.
We'll
Can I
see.
read some games?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Bucks have the Falcons. You guys think they could win that?
Yeah.
They
Falcons,
can.
Bills,
No.
No.
Texans,
Yeah, they
Maybe.
could win it.
Titans,
They're better than the Texans.
Yeah, maybe.
Saints are-
Niners,
No.
No.
Colts, Panthers. So like,
Maybe.
Colts could win.
Maybe.
Panthers could win. Yeah, they could
That's
win.
not maybe and maybe against the
No.
Like, the Bucks are
Panthers, bro.
Panthers
The
the worst
Bucks are
team in the
not good enough
league.
to be guaranteed wins against anybody.
Yes, they are.
agreed.
Yes, they are. You guys.
I don't think most teams in the NFL are good enough to be guaranteed wins against anyone. It's like
The
a knock on
Panthers,
that.
yes, the Panthers are a bad football team,
Oh, they're bad for sure.
and they're.
I'm not guaranteeing like a division.
When they went up
like the Bucks
14-0.
are not good enough for me to just say guaranteed W, like no chance.
When they went up
Against
14
them, I
nothing
think
yesterday,
you're
were you like,
No, I bet. I, actually bet
as a-
the Dolphins -6.5 alternate live line +170.
Panthers losing
That's how
Panthers
bad
plus
they are.
14 felt gross.
Do we want to revisit our Bryce Young, Justin Fields take now that it's week 6?
Maybe tomorrow.
well,
I don't know
so
if I
here's
have
another
the
team.
energy to do that, but-
How dangerous do you think this team is moving forward? 3-3, the Browns.
I think they're in the
Miles
mix.
Garrett is
100%.
literally just like a fucking
Their defense,
monster.
they're going to make the playoffs. Their
100%.
defense is too good not to
I'm
make.
very
How
upset.
long
with
is
the Browns.
Watson out for?
I think just this week.
Until he wants to play.
He was cleared like last week.
He was cleared 2 weeks ago.
Well, the Browns also said that they kept him out this time, so I don't know if they're flip flopping on what they said, but
Yeah,
still,
but
I
he
agree.
committed like early on.
PJ
Like, he was
Walker,
playing.
he also played pretty well.
Whatever. He's
All right,
sitting
is
there
anybody
whack
gonna?
job.
When we're on the Browns and 49ers, is anybody gonna talk about Brock Purdy? Any
Yes.
concerns?
I
I think
think the same thing
It's
is
just one of those games. It's like the Eagles. It's a wake-up game.
yeah. Like I don't think if you give Jalen Hurts the pass, I think you could give him the pass.
They
I think Purdy. I mean, you saw a little bit of.
He was
I mean,
off.
he was no. I mean, he was bad. He was definitely bad. I think he's like a solid quarterback.
My
I just don't
takeaway.
think he's like this. Like he's not like winning every start, never
the,
throwing an interception kind of guy. That's not who he
the
is.
second the 49ers saw that Watson wasn't playing and the results from the previous week with him not playing, I think they let it down.
Yeah,
I
100%.
agree, but there were some throws yesterday, wide open guys he was
Yeah.
just missing.
he
Like
was-
not
Yeah, but
good
you got
defense, just
bad.
wide open guys.
It's
missing.
kind of, but like I feel
I
like
love Purdy though.
everyone is such game to game. Like everyone's like who just started getting like the more respect that he was deserved. Like just because he's not just a system quarterback. People are, and now it's like just because McCaffrey Debo out, he was horrible. Throw him out. Like people are so reactionary. It's crazy.
The Browns' defense is for real though.
yeah.
Very good.
Well,
one of
Miles
the
Browns'
Garrett
defense
one of the
is
best in the league.
real.
incredible.
So that game cost me the monster money line parlay.
No. The monster money line parlay costs you the monster money line.
No. Well, maybe you're
It's
right.
1-3. The
realize
Monday
that you're
Night
like-
Football,
Also,
It's in rough shape.
For all of those that you would hit, you're better off betting every dog in the NFL. Just blind.
I actually had that thought this week when I realized that Clemmer lost it when he was talking about it. I was like, I might start taking the opposite of all four money lines and just need like one of them to win the profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go for it. I mean, it sucks. I was 5-4 yesterday.
NFL is different than college, though, which sucks. Like the Browns were only plus 340.
Bosco, also, I know you're
Yeah.
like I just can't believe seeing someone like a veteran leader, seasoned vet like Robbie Gold line up for the
Yes.
kick to win the game.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
Just miss it.
I can't believe Robbie Gold.
Robbie
Robbie
Gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
Just, he's been
true.
doing it forever.
That's how out to lunch that guy is, man.
I mean,
He just-
Ev had a first round or first seat view or floor seat view. Yeah, tossing the helmet, like nothing made sense. Just nothing makes sense with that guy.
Hey, real quick, who would you rather, Justin Fields or Badgett?
I think I might go.
He was
Yeah.
talking zesty after
see.
Mayfield stunk it up.
All right, let's.
Justin Fields was horrible
He got
before
hurt.
he got hurt.
He got
Before he got hurt, he
Got
was
hurt.
awful.
Got hurt, and yeah,
Just-
Badgett was awesome.
We still got.
Badgett was better.
We still got.
Sure it wasn't.
Yeah,
a
10 of
bunch.
14 with an interception.
Still got a bunch to unpack.
Those turnovers.
Put together a parlay for tonight. We do have to talk a little baseball. That left fielder for the Rangers.
Oh no, we got to talk Oregon, Washington as well.
Let's rewind that back. Still have to do a parlay. Still have to do some baseball. That outfielder for the Rangers made a couple of catches. It's Gallon Day. Phillies. We'll touch on that. But before we do all that, college football. Does that work?
Hit me, Rico.
Does that work for you?
I approve.
All right. So Clemmer, you made a quick. You could do this quick. You made a quick statement in the chat. You were like, "Now I get it with you guys with college." What
Yeah.
about yesterday made you like come in and join the party?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be like you guys are completely consumed by it, but it's just more. It is a very exciting brand of football because there's so many things that can happen at any given time. Like we were talking, and I was like, oh, because we all were on Brad's over. I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. We're going to lose the bet because the first quarter is over, only 7 points. You guys are like, no. In college, that's not even close to being over, and you guys were right. And just the idea that like little mistakes can turn into scoring so fast that you just don't see in the pros. So I really enjoyed it. I watched the whole game. I was pretty excited by it.
And no game is ever over.
They're not as good. That's why.
Right.
It's the best.
It's like college basketball. You see
why it's my
somebody shoot from the
Terrific
elbow,
product.
like you might get a shank in college.
Yeah.
Pros, it's a swish every time.
Why
Terrific product.
the NBA season's so boring because they're so good and they don't make dumb mistakes. These guys are idiots, and they're with a crowd around them. And on ESPN, they make some dumb mistakes, and it's the best.
And the athleticism is so great too. Like
Yeah.
they are still so fast because they're young. They're 20 years old. And they're quick as fuck.
Yep.
So they're really fast. Mix that in with mistakes, and you do get a very exciting product.
It's what I've said. I've realized the last like few years there are literally like 9 good quarterbacks on planet Earth. So when you see like the other ones play, it's just chaos.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also, even when you have which guy's gonna make bad plays, like a Caleb Williams with 3 picks.
Everybody in the booth just left.
Not
Not Dukes.
Dukes is the man.
So all right, so
It was
that's
the same shot. It was like
that was the game of the day. One of the games of the season had everything involved. High scoring, guys going for 2 early, up and down and back and forth. Dan Lanning at least was consistent in pushing his chips in all the time.
I had no problem with it.
But if you keep pushing your chips in, you're eventually going to get burnt. That's like
Or you're eventually gonna win the whole thing.
I think
Yeah.
that, like, what would you rather, though? Because, like,
well, all right, so before the half, what would you have done? He came away with nothing. You wouldn't have taken the field goal there?
But that's his coaching style. Like, I get, in hindsight, it's easy to say it, but like his coaching style is to go for it. And it sucks in the moment, but it's Monday morning quarterback where like it's like we're talking about it because it didn't work. But if it did work, we're like, oh man, that guy's got balls if it won. You
Then
know?
3:13 in the third, they're on the 8. He does it again. It's like 4th and 3. He doesn't take the points again. I said it. They eventually had to get the touchdown to go to cut it to a 3-point lead.
They had to
It
go
would
for
have been
2 to cut it to 3.
Cut it to 3. They would have been up 3 if he just took the 6. The 2 different times.
But it's
field goal ties it, field goal ahead.
That's where it's the Monday morning. Or if they score the touchdown, like then you're already up. You're up big.
I think of those times you can't go 0-2. Like if I like it the first time,
They rolled
but
the
then
dice.
late in the third, I don't know if I'm rolling it again because now it's 14-point swing.
I
Technically.
agree. with
Lost
you.
out on
you
14
You got to be consistent. I guess I lean towards this is just me personally. I like an aggressive coach. I don't like conservative. Kicking field goals don't win you games. Scoring touchdowns wins games. I just think it's and I know you think I'm not saying you're doing this, but I think like Marty said, people love to say after once you missed it, you shouldn't get it. I'm the type like I respect
Just
you.
keep going.
Like I'm the type go like if that's what you do, go. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But that's like you live and die by that sword.
The storyline today, if he scores, it would be like Dan Lang has the biggest balls.
100%.
So
That's
it's like you're getting either one.
The kicker just missed a 40-yarder
And
to tie the
yeah.
game.
That's also
Like,
too where it's like
that's the way football goes. Sometimes it ends. Happened at Ohio State last year. We watched national title on a kick. Like football goes. Like
college
that
kickers, yeah.
sometimes.
So what do you think about going for it late and trying to end the game? Actually, of the 3,
I like it.
Of the 3 decisions, I was kind of okay with that one the most. Than the points.
No,
Based on the points I didn't love.
If you're in a
If
spot
you can end the
where-
game, I'm okay with that.
if you're in a spot where you need like a yard and the game's over. Like I trust my guys will get that yard if you think your team's that good. If your team is a national title team and you can't rely on them to get 1 yard when it matters, they're probably not as good as you think they are.
biggest thing about this game is I want to see both of them again.
It could easily be the Pac-12 championship game.
That's all I want to see because after we see USC what they did and like Washington State has fallen off a little bit.
they're
Like
down now.
I don't know
They're
what the
toast.
fuck happened to
that's
those.
what I'm saying. Like they've fallen off. Like these are the 2 teams. These are 2 teams that should be in the playoff. At
Oregon
least we should
State's
get
lurking
one.
in the weeds. The Civil War is going to be awesome. Are they playing
Be a
that on
great
a
game.
Friday or a Saturday this year?
Not sure.
That game's. I have obviously my Oregon future. That's scary.
That's Washington. Or Oregon State's last 2 games is Washington, Oregon.
Dude, Oregon State's
They
I mean, listen,
could throw a wrench if they.
if you think Washington State's not going to give them a tough fight next week, you're crazy.
They probably are. Yeah.
For sure. Washington State's going to give Washington a tough game.
Yeah.
You also
Apple
got to
Cup
give
too, I
credit to
bet.
Oregon. Like that's a tough away environment they were playing in as well.
I came from that game seeing them as like that. Those are like 2 great teams. I think they're literally like they play that game 10 times. It's like 5-5.
If it was 12, these are 2 teams that you're like, this is great.
Oh,
Without
for
question.
sure.
These guys are true championship contenders. The Civil War, which we're not allowed to call it anymore, is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, 8:30 at night. Oregon gets it at home, so that's a
Great watch, right?
Penix,
That's the only thing with Oregon State. They have to go to Washington, to Oregon. So I mean,
Penix played great, but
That'd be-
don't take anything away from Bo Nix either. Another
Bo Nix
road
played awesome.
stellar
Awesome.
performance.
did you guys see the Heisman odds updated?
He's got to be.
Caleb Williams is now 50-1.
Which he played like shit. But USC had a non-conference loss.
50-1.
I mean, honestly, no.
He played horrible. Horrible.
No, he did.
He was plus 240.
Yeah, and now
But
Penix
doing
is
that,
minus.
You can't lose by 28 on the road. And I said on my hot take on the College Football Show, they will. And me and Trav have been talking about
lose
it.
3.
They're going to lose at
Caleb
least.
Williams
They're going to
20
lose at least 2
Caleb
more
Williams
games.
20-1.
At least they're. I'm just so. I've been saying it for the last 2 years.
20-1.
I think that's a reaction back. They brought it.
I think you can have a game like that and win the Heisman.
I-
Especially when your team's not a real contender.
And it's
either.
what I'm gonna say. I'm only saying as a lip service. USC's national title hopes are not dead, losing a game out of conference, but they are dead because they don't play defense.
No,
There's
but-
no way that this is the only loss.
I hear you.
They're literally not dead.
I think they're dead on the fact that they lost by 28 points. I don't think you bounce back and losing by 4 touchdowns.
If you
I
went,
get what you're saying that like they have one loss.
if you went 12-1,
They won the rest
and
of their
rattled
games.
off wins against Utah, Washington, and Oregon back to back, and UCLA, and any one of them in the Pac-12 championship game, you're insane. Not to say
guess.
they're going to make the playoff.
I guess.
Insane. But
I mean,
there's no
Alvaro-
chance they
Alvaro
do that
has-
because
yeah.
they don't play defense. So they'll be lucky to finish 9-3.
I think it's very funny to see people that watch college football like one game like a day, and it happens to be like on the bar, on the TV at the bar, and they're like, see Caleb Williams play for the first time, like,
Yeah.
oh, this generational
That
talent.
guy
Then they're all like on
sucks.
Twitter being like, this guy sucks.
You saw Kyle McCord against Notre Dame. It was a lot better than that. Just saying.
McCord is
I'll just let that.
Well,
I'll
I'm gonna
just
wait.
let that quote just rest.
Let's
in
wait
there.
till this week is a big week for Kyle McCord.
Sure is.
Weren't you guys debating J.J. McCarthy last week? Was that a debate? That was happening?
He was
Not
being
really.
We were. Me and Dukes were a little bit.
He's third now in
He's
odds.
playing great.
It's crazy.
Here's the comment of just being. He's just on a good team.
should
Bro, you're insane.
11-1.
He's not the third best quarterback.
should
He's not top 10.
I'm conflicted between Alabama because
What? They're gonna win a national championship? Yeah.
right, but you beat Arkansas by 3 fucking points at home.
They
that
let up a little.
So,
I don't
so
think
that's the
true.
divide. What's
that
going?
true.
Is Alabama a true national contender, which the path adds up
Yes,
to,
they are.
No, they're not.
or are they the team who keeps beating Arkansas by fucking 3?
They're a team that
they
won't
have
win
a-
can and won't win national title.
I think they can because
But
can in
the
the sense of, like,
discussion is that they can win a title.
They can in the same way that if they like won the rest of their games, sure.
which they can't. They have a very favorable Tennessee at home, LSU at home.
You agree they're not that good. You get what I'm
I don't
saying?
know if
It's
they're not that. Like,
I don't think they're that good. A&M's not great.
not
They
that
barely beat A&M. Should have lost that game. Beat Arkansas by fucking 3. Like,
I don't know about at A&M is a tough game. I don't think that's no
Honestly,
matter what.
even Texas to me is not like that great.
I don't think we've seen it. I'll be honest. I don't think we've seen enough from the Big 12 yet.
The Big 12 is just not that good.
It's not.
We say it every year, and people get a little like excited about it, and then you realize, oh yeah, it's what we thought.
But Alabama, listen, they win all. They can win all their games. Tennessee is I think they beat Tennessee at home. LSU at home, and then their hardest game is Auburn. After that, at Auburn, and then after that is especially if fucking Brock is out of Georgia, they're a beatable team. So they have a path, a very.
They have a path in theory. I just don't think they're that good.
I don't know if it's in theory. That's the path.
No, but but your theory is that they're just going to win every game.
I think it has they're
If they win, if
favorable.
they win all the games.
Do you
sure.
think they're better than Tennessee?
Yeah, because I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's great. I think they're better than LSU.
I just don't think
as
they're
well.
that good.
I think they're. I think them and LSU are. LSU's problem is they play no defense, but they'll score on Bama.
Alabama 16-1.
I have them
Yeah, and it makes sense because they control their own destiny. It definitely makes sense.
Do you think Oklahoma's legit?
I do. I think Oklahoma's lurking in the weeds right now in a weak Big
but then
12.
You can't say
They
that
might get
Texas isn't legit then.
I didn't say anything about Texas. He said something about
Yeah,
Texas.
because they played a.
I'm not like sold on Oklahoma.
Okay.
Well, I'm Oklahoma. Listen, so there's good and there's like national title good. I think they're like good. I just think when it comes down to it, like they're not gonna beat like Georgia, like any like the 3 of the Big Ten teams, even like Oregon or Washington. I think is way better than them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
We also, as we sit here, we have to shout out Brad. Brad has been
Red.
red hot.
You leave it to
Red
me
hot.
to be traveling 2 weeks and miss.
One in a row.
Let me tell you something. I've been giving Brad's picks for the last 4 weeks to Rhea's dad, and Rhea's dad thinks I am a fucking sharp. It's awesome.
Especially you're like, yeah, take the FAU South Florida
He
over.
goes, wow. He's literally was like telling Rhea's family, like, Matt knows a lot, man. I was like, yeah.
No, Brad. Listen, Brad is a pro in all sense of the word, and he does a million shows. We're lucky to have him, and he's great in the mix-up.
I want the excuses to stop with you, though.
What do you mean?
How are you missing out on these picks? And we have a group
living
chat.
in an office.
Because
Game was on Saturday. It ended on Thursday.
Well, I got Clemmer being like, "Look at that sinker."
Clemmer also did say Brad's magic ran out in the first quarter.
Yeah,
He did. Well, because I don't.
That was insane.
I did. I don't know college.
It was 7-0 with like 3 minutes left in the first.
Also,
quarter.
little Brad too with his, we've been hinting at, we've been asking. I try to ask different questions, not just games. If you remember, again, I don't want to touch the money yet, but I was like, who's kind of a TCU sleeper? Do you remember who he said a couple of weeks ago? UNC.
UNC's been the most surprising.
They look
team
really
to
good.
me.
Yeah,
They've been the most
really good.
because I was told their defense is going to be the worst of all time, and it's turned out it's doing like pretty well.
They were a team before the season I was very wrong about.
Everyone was. I
was
think.
very-
I don't think many.
I didn't think their offense would be as good either, especially with the Tez Walker.
Who's
thing.
their toughest game coming up?
At Clemson, November 18th.
They can. I'm telling you, they can.
Yeah, well, they got
Play
this.
Duke yet?
No, they got this gauntlet. November 11th, Duke. At Clemson, the 18th. At NC State, which I don't care how bad NC State is. That game's always going to be a war. I think that's Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. So they go Virginia, Georgia Tech, Campbell. Should be 3 wins. The thing is with Carolina, though, they're going to lose one of those, and that's what's going to hurt them before they get to the
I
stretch.
think they're gonna lose Georgia Tech.
No,
one of
it's
those,
just
or
in the
Virginia.
past, dude. It's college. Look at Louisville. Louisville's riding high, best team in the country.
But
Smashes Notre Dame. That was so obvious to take Pitt. I'm mad at myself.
I did take Pitt, but I was saying, but Louisville, I think was more. I test Louisville was like fool's gold. Like I think
I
everyone
still
saw
think
that.
Louisville's pretty good, man.
Clemmer, you want to
Look
know?
at they should have. I think they should have lost to Georgia Tech. They should have lost to NC State. Louisville
This
kind
is your head.
They're gonna get over the win total.
This is his
Stupid.
fucking head. He bet on
Yeah.
Louisville. He liked
I
it for a
actually- I
couple
actually
weeks,
said
lost
it-
him, and now he can't get out of it.
I actually said it on the
I
house
did say there would be Notre Dame outright.
You did. No, you did. I'm saying now, now it's like you're like me in the sense
Yeah.
where like I'll get stubborn on a team.
Yeah.
got the
Oh,
win
I
total.
meant
You got
more
the
so
win total.
college. Like
Louisville's not
UNC loses the game they're not
they're
supposed to. That's college. How many years has there been Oklahoma State or Pittsburgh or West Virginia against Pittsburgh that night with McAfee in 07 or whatever it was?
I'm saying
West Virginia's handed the tickets to the championship game.
I think we've seen UNC play besides Notre Dame. Like they played like better teams, and I think they've had like look ahead spots where they got like the Miami game, huge look ahead spot, beat them 40-7. Like I just the more I watch UNC, the more and more I'm impressed by them. I think they're real. Like I think they could compete with Florida State.
Clemmer,
I'd love to see that be the ACC title game. I'd love it.
you
The
want to know
national
why
championship-
college football is the best?
Why is that?
Duke won 24-3, correct? How many completions did their quarterback have?
8.
4.
The backup.
4 of 12 for 107 yards, 2
Two
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
That sounds like a gruesome game to
It's
watch.
awesome.
Well, they're
24-3, they won. Blow them out.
in their defense. They have a first-round quarterback who was injured.
Yeah.
The backup was playing.
But still, the fact that it's a big game, like NC State's not terrible,
Yeah.
but like they're not
Rivalry
great.
game.
Rivalry game.
In-state game.
You see
Conference game.
24-3. Oh, great! 4 completions he has.
I was
It's incredible.
I bet Duke because I was like once Leonard was out, I was like everyone's gonna bet the opposite side. Don't do it.
I will
They still
give
have
you
a good
credit.
team.
I bet Duke because of you because that made sense that it was -3. Everyone's like,
Their
oh,
team-
it's because of that. It's like, oh,
Duke's
well,
team was still much better.
he's gonna get a very good coaching job if he doesn't stay there.
He's great.
He's a great coach.
Great coach. Really
Plus, he's
good.
limited by the academics.
Yeah,
He's
huge.
done-
So, like
he's done an
if you
awesome
could get,
job.
imagine he goes in and
basketball
and
there.
he doesn't have anybody like
Yeah, honestly, one of these guys.
talking to him about SAT scores. Instead, they're just like showing him what the guy's actually doing
One
on
of
the
these
field.
guys, him or Leipold, or one of these guys is gonna get that Michigan State job. I bet.
Yeah.
I could see.
think
They're
that-
talking about Leipold potentially.
Do you think that's where Notre Dame does get fucked a lot because of the athletics? I mean,
Yeah.
the
Say it all the
academics,
time.
Where it's like it's them. But I don't know. Is that still a thing anymore?
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause, like,
There's no.
1,000.
You're
I,
not.
just- I think they can get in if they really want a guy.
You're not
what I'm
big on
saying.
transfers either. Like
Well, the quarterback is.
they're not big on
They
transfers.
took an Ohio State
Yeah,
guy,
but you got a
too.
Wake Forest guy who where Wake Forest is the same way. They're not like you can't just get into Wake Forest for,
I feel
for
like
sports.
if Notre Dame wants to get somebody in,
If there's a guy that good, I think if they want him, they
right?
get him.
That's what I always feel like.
I don't think he can be like brain dead, but if he's if he's got like any brain cells,
I think you guys are. I think that's off. From my friend's dad's a huge booster at Notre Dame, and he's like it's impossible to get people in.
It is.
No, I'm not kidding. Like you,
Friend-
that's why-
well,
I
it's
believe
no,
you,
I'm not
James.
gonna I'm not gonna sell him out. But like it's pretty legit.
They have tutors fly with them on the planes. They're doing papers
I mean,
on
I
the
know
fucking
it.
plane.
Like Michigan basketball is brutal to get into. Like I mean, Caleb Love literally didn't just go there. Terrence Shannon Jr. didn't go there because of it's a lot. Like some schools like that really, but I'm like Notre Dame football is all about it. I feel like they should just be like, hey, let this fucking guy
Didn't
in.
their quarterback in like the '88 national championship, Tony? I can't think.
Rice?
Yeah, Tony
Yes,
Rice,
he
yeah.
didn't play his like freshman or sophomore year because of his academics.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think they've
I'm saying
softened a
it's
little bit, but
different.
it's
way
hard.
different than now. I'm
Definitely
saying
hard.
I think it's changed now where they're like, well, they still make a ton of money with NBC anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Crazy. All right, so I wrote all these down, and there's a lot that's going to happen, and one of them's going to get knocked down way more this week when the Colt plays Ohio State. But for now, the contenders that I have to make the playoff, some things have to go more right than others. In the SEC, you got Georgia, Bama, and Ole Miss.
You're saying they just can.
Can.
Not what we think.
Can.
Is Ole Miss one loss right now?
Yeah, one loss. Two
Yes,
Bama.
Sure.
But they play Georgia, so Ole Miss way down the list. I'm just keeping them on.
Sure.
LSU completely out with 2 losses.
I think so.
I think so.
Who
And
makes the
lot lost too.
Who makes the who would play Bama if Ole Miss beats Georgia? Do they beat them in the tiebreaker,
because
whatever it is?
Ole Miss is on.
Georgia's on the other side.
On the other side, they're kind of by themselves.
So they're fucked then.
Bama would need to lose this week.
They'd have to lose one game, more game.
No, they have to lose 2, yeah.
Because
They have one.
LSU has an out of conference loss. So if LSU beat Bama, they'd be above them.
Right. Bama's only losses to Texas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
They'd have to
yeah,
lose
they do
2.
one in.
Yeah.
Oh no,
It's it's convoluted, but it's not worth.
No, you're right.
Michigan, Ohio State, State Penn.
Yeah.
Wisconsin and Iowa both out. I don't care.
Thank you.
You can
for
win that. I officially.
I
Hey,
appreciate you saying Wisconsin's out.
Wisconsin, out.
After the
It's a
third
fun run. Fun
This-
run.
I'm looking at the ESPN playoff predictor right now.
Yep.
It is crazy. What do you think Penn State is percentage on ESPN?
low.
4.
15%.
35. Michigan 32. Ohio State 56.
Fair.
Florida State.
Doesn't go along with the odds from
Are you at
Vegas.
Michigan?
Yeah. We're 4.5 point favorites this week against Penn State at home.
Makes sense.
UNC.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
Oregon. Oregon State.
Yeah.
USC.
Sure. Yeah.
Has to be.
Sure.
Missing
sure,
one
fine,
so
sure.
far, right?
Oklahoma and Texas.
Missing one.
Who do you think I'm missing?
Florida State.
Florida State and UNC.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think we're in a spot where a lot of conferences are going to have a one-loss champion, and we're all, even the SEC, like, I hope Ole Miss beats Georgia. I really do. Because it puts Georgia then in a championship
I think
game.
this is the worst the SEC's been in a while, like top to bottom. Because even at the top, Georgia I think is not nearly as good. The last 2 teams are much better, and then Bama I think is down. Tennessee's not nearly as good as they were last year. Like Auburn's down now.
But I'll get. I mean,
Florida's not good. Kentucky's like whatever. Mizzou's whatever.
I just think it's a dream. Like, you're looking at Georgia or Bama, let's say, right? Michigan or Ohio State, even State Penn is a big brand. FSU, I don't think UNC holds the same water, so I hope it's FSU.
Not football, no.
FSU, then either Washington, Oregon with a Heisman guy, and then Oklahoma, Texas. Like, I actually think we're going to have – I know every year the 5th team sitting there is pissed. This might be like somebody's going to fucking burn the country.
Yeah.
They're going to be you imagine a one-loss Oklahoma, or it's got a lot. It's
Can I tell
fucking-
you something though? Whenever this happens, whenever
all
we have a
settles
lot,
itself.
It's
It
gonna
settles
be,
itself.
It settles itself, and then watch. It's gonna be Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan. Like it's just like usually what happens. That's completely. If Alabama wins out and beats Georgia, they'll both get in, and there's a chance that Michigan and Ohio State can still both get in. Like, it's crazy. Because I could see the Pac-12 eating itself alive. I could see Oklahoma just dropping one. Like, there's so many that you can just.
It's a great run though. I think it's a lot of fun right now.
It sucks though that next year's 12.
No, it's awesome.
No, I'm saying I wish this year was 12.
Yeah, this year would be a very well. That would here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I just gave you 14. So let's cross off Oregon State and probably Ole Miss, and you're going Georgia, Bama, Michigan, Ohio State, State Penn, FSU, UNC, Washington, Oregon, USC, Oklahoma, Texas.
Be awesome.
Well, yes, you're right. Cross off USC and give me whoever the Power 5 team is. Who it might be fucking non-Power 5. It might be Air Force when it's all said and done.
Crazy you give Georgia a 30% chance.
This doesn't make sense. It doesn't equal 100. Dude, it's also like just it doesn't make sense, right?
No, it does.
How?
No, because it's 400. It should equal 400.
Yeah, I don't know.
400%.
Not doing that math.
Guys, this isn't that hard. There's 4 teams who get in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it should equal 400. Yes.
That's what you just said.
Okay.
No,
I didn't know how that's.
Yeah, I don't know.
about that.
Usually just shit equals 100% for that. Like,
First 2 teams was 60 and 15
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's up. All right. Parlay. Anybody have a real good feeling about tonight? I like Dak. I don't know who's relegated. We have one guy left. Like, what do we have left?
Let's just all do it today.
I like Dak to score a touchdown. It's deep at 5. So if you want me to be the not leg and you guys go 4, I'll ride your 4.
I got Pollard.
That's the
for a
only real
touchdown today.
feel I have. What do you like?
CD Lamb.
Touchdown? We just got touchdown, guys?
Well, now we have 3 touchdowns.
I'm the touchdown guy. How you gonna
no,
look-
Fine.
Ev goes
Lamb.
first.
All right, you
for
get
sure.
Lamb. Fine. Lamb. What do you guys like? Interceptions? Something to hit a post? What do you have up your fucking sleeve?
No, I like Cowboys money line.
Okay.
I do too.
I mean, we don't have to put that in the parlay.
Oh, put
I don't
it in.
hate it.
I'm on the Chargers.
Cowboys.
I think we put it in.
Who do you have? Lamb? What do you like?
It's fun.
I forgot about. So
Herbert
I have,
yards? Herbert.
I have Herbert anytime touchdown, but that's a plus 350. It's not gonna hit.
I don't. What about just going Cowboys, Lamb, and
It's a lot of
Cowboys, Lamb, and Herbert? That's not bad.
I'm Dak Prescott over 22 completions.
All right, we're adding that as well.
I still like the
Dak over 22 and Herbert touchdown.
I like that.
Yeah, you like it because you suggested it. I hope 3 out of 4 hit and we just throw eggs at you the rest of the stream.
No, I don't want that
blast.
to happen. I think
Dukes, cook it up,
I think
see
the
what it
Chargers
is.
are gonna win. By the way,
What?
this game?
Cowboys, Lamb TD, Herbert TD, Dak over 22 receptions.
Why is that,
completions.
Clement? Why do you think the Chargers are going to win?
I don't believe in the Cowboys. Their wins have been against kind of shittier teams. They also I never know where they are. The Chargers are coming off a bye. Chargers are at home. I like the Chargers.
So
here.
why do you believe in the Chargers who haven't beaten anybody?
I think the Cowboys haven't beaten anybody. It's more I disbelieve in the Cowboys than I believe in the Chargers. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Why are you guys so high on the Cowboys?
I
Put
think
it down on them a little bit.
I think
Better
people
team.
they're coming off the big loss. I think I don't trust the Chargers. I don't think they're good. I think the Lions. I think not the Lions. I think the Cowboys are much better on defense. I was thinking the Chargers are so bad on defense. This is an opportunity to get the offense going because they haven't looked great. I think I like the over. I'm assuming the under. I think it's gonna be low score, more low scoring than people think.
Our Chargers had a problem with the Raiders with the backup quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think I like the Cowboys.
There's one problem with
I
you
just took the money line minus like 125.
That's what I'm going to actually change my team. I'm not taking 1.5 to just get fucked. The one problem what you just said, it's a home game for the Cowboys. The Chargers they'll just travel to the Chargers have no fans, honestly.
What's the parlay?
And most of the Cowboys fans are in LA.
Cowboys
anyway.
money line.
Yeah, exactly. They are.
Your start up next week, baby.
Lamb TD, Herbert TD, Dak over 22 completions. I think it's gonna be high.
Lamb TD, Dak TD.
You gotta go.
I might go too.
Who's receptions?
No, Dak completions over 22 and a half.
And the Herbert anytime touchdown. Don't forget that, Gem.
But all right, so we'll end it on this. Rangers, real good one last night, 2-0 against Verlander. What was the rookie's name in left?
Evan Carter. Yeah, so this goes
Some
to kind
big
of
catches.
2 great catches. He's such a rookie. He's eligible to rookie of the year next year. That's how much of a rookie he is. He didn't hit the
Is that catch off of Chapman the longest non-home run since the Polo Grounds?
Yeah.
It was
Seriously.
wild. Yeah.
No, it is.
Into the void, right?
Yeah.
Into the L.
We all thought that was
Big time gone.
But, like, I think this proves that, like, the stuff like the pedigree and stuff isn't as important as people say. You have Altuve make a bonehead mistake at second, and you have Evan Carter,
Oh,
a
you
rookie.
are you serious?
That's
Why is
on.
that? Why is that?
One game. They won one
no,
game.
one game. It's just showing
Well, it's
that.
one game. It's actually one game.
I
It is
understand
literally
it's one
It's
game.
literally one game.
I understand that.
Can't
But Evan
talk-
Carter is
if
a
they-
very exciting, talented player.
For sure, 100%. But if the Rangers win, you can maybe go out to pedigree. You can't one. It does still matter because the last.
You're
how
talking
many
about. Are
times
you
the Astros-
so Altuve makes one bonehead mistake. You're going to discount the million home runs and 2
No.
rings he's
That
won?
was a bad play, and the ump. You
Not at all.
can't. You can't miss that.
I'm not-
You're right there.
Yeah.
I'm not at all saying anything against Altuve. I'm just saying that even a guy with as much postseason experience and success as Altuve can still make a boneheaded mistake in the playoffs.
Yes, you are correct. Since Jose Altuve has a pedigree, the Astros still can lose.
Yes, and pedigree
Yes.
is maybe isn't as important as people may say. A rookie, the World Series MVP last
The
year. rookie.
If the
Evan
Astros
Carter,
do it,
this game amazing.
Yeah,
if the
well,
Astros get to the World
Or
Series.
Montgomery, incredible.
If the Astros get to the World Series, does pedigree matter?
No,
So nothing we can say means anything.
I will say
You won your argument already in your head.
no. I mean that's a fair point.
yeah.
No, I mean I definitely think it's something though the pedigree people can kind of put their hat on and be like, hey, Clemmer, look at that. You know,
I think pedigree matters because you've also said that they have not had the best season. They've won 11
haven't.
games less. So pedigree would matter more because they're not as talented this year in your eyes. So
They're not.
pedigree gets them to the World Series.
then they got to win it, I guess, in theory too, right?
Yeah, well, pedigree is also Bruce Bochy, so we got pedigree on both sides.
Yes.
Their numbers together were pretty close. I know the two World Series 3-1 is a big difference, but the rest of their numbers were very close of Baker and Bochy.
If
You got.
Is it 4 picks?
Yeah.
36-1.
Woo.
So $10 wins you 360.
Okay.
What does 100 win you?
That would be 3,600.
What about 1,000?
400%.
36,000.
it's doing good.
What about 250?
Don't do it.
250. No.
You got it.
That would win you 436,000.
All right, I'll take your word for it. All right, Phillies tonight. Let's end it
I
on
don't
this.
think that was right.
Also, wait, breaking news. AP poll college basketball. Just dropped.
Ooh.
My two teams, 1 and 2, baby.
Let's see how many friends.
Bosco, what team is missing?
My friends.
Utah
won-
State.
What's
Dayton
you has
Flyers.
more friends, Bosco? Actual friends. Let's go through it. No, it's fun.
Oh, not today.
No, I think you win. That's what I'm saying. I think
Kansas.
Kansas. I have Kansas.
Connection at Duke. Connection at Purdue. Connection at Marquette. Connection at UConn. Connection at Houston. Connection
Marty,
at
do you have a
Creighton,
connection at Michigan State?
Connection
no,
at FAU.
called their coach Hitler.
Connection at Miami. Connection at Arkansas. Connection at A&M. Connection at San Diego State. Connection at
That's what I'm saying. You would have won.
St. Mary's, Alabama, and Illinois.
You
No
really,
Arkansas.
So
I did say Arkansas.
No,
you
but
do
you
me a
don't have
favor?
that.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Arkansas is
claim
mine.
that.
You got to give Arkansas is mine.
Okay.
They hate each other, Alabama and Arkansas. You can't hate everyone.
Still talk. Still hang
Can
out.
you do me a favor?
We bought drinks at the pump party.
Can you do me a favor this year? I want you to go through every connection that you have and put a future on it, like $10 on all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Tennessee Tech you want me to put on?
Maybe you don't have to.
Western State?
You don't have to do the shitty
I'd go
ones.
broke.
Yeah, you're at like 7.
Broke.
How about just to make the tournament? Final
Yeah,
Four.
Northwestern State. Shout out their department. Sent some great stuff.
Northwestern State.
Yeah, they're in the SWAC.
That's not a school.
It is. I got some stuff.
No,
Orange and purple.
they're about to stop being.
Orange and purple. All right, Phillies. Tell me why the Phillies are going to ruin Gallon Day today, Smitty. Also, the fact that Zach Wheeler is starting a fucking NLCS game of all these guys.
So Jordan Montgomery.
Crazy.
They killed me.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler deals. Zach Allen, he's going to come out. He's going to pitch a good game tonight. He's from South Jersey. It's basically a home game for him. It wouldn't shock me to see the Diamondbacks win tonight, to be honest with you. It would not shock me.
This is I think this is if they're gonna win a game this series, this is the one.
Oh, a game away. Yes.
I think even a game this series. I think this is gonna be a Philly bloodbath.
However, it is.
Why do you say that? The Diamondbacks have their pitchers lined up.
Yeah,
They do.
but-
So do the Phillies.
Yeah, so the Phillies and the Phillies are clicking on all cylinders. They have the it factor. Not to say that that's not discounting the Diamondbacks. The Phillies are that much better right now, and it's not even cockiness. They're just going out and
just have a better roster.
Know that they're doing it.
Thing that I'm worried about with Gallen, looking at the game log, and also I've noticed this in both playoff starts, since that complete game one hitter against the Cubs on September 8th, 5, 5, 6, 6 1/3, 6, 5 1/3. He's not getting deep into games. Now, their bullpen has been lights out. Shout out Joe Mantley, friend of the program. But you want a guy to go 6, at least 7 in these type of games, and he's your best guy.
And if the Phillies, like, you're going to have to shut the Phillies out, basically, because if they get, like, 1 or 2, they're going to get, like, 8. Like,
especially in that bandbox, and he's very prone to giving up homers.
Also, you know who turns 31 today?
Wheeler? No, Harper?
Well, Reese coming back?
No, he's not on the roster.
He's not on the roster, but it was debatable for this round.
He might.
So he'll probably be on the World Series.
Crazy they're doing that.
That'd be so crazy.
Yeah.
Hope that happens.
Well, I mean, Zach Wheeler can play, or Bryce Harper can play first base. Not something Brian Cashman could.
So, all right,
Don't get me upset.
what's the play?
That really does hurt my
The
feelings.
play is Bryce Harper RBI plus 200.
Okay.
That's the play.
Plus 200.
Yeah. I mean, the over under 7. I think Bryce, he's batting either 3rd or 4th. He's been batting cleanup recently. Trey Turner's he's batting 500. Somebody's going to be on base for Bryce Harper.
Yep.
Knock him in.
I'm going to take Gallen as the
They
dog.
don't even need to be on base. Probably is it home run.
I'm going to take Gallen as the dog, obviously. They, they don't respect him. I've been riding him. He's been pretty good. 11 1/3 in the playoffs, 3.18 ERA, 8 strikeouts, 2-0. He goes
Both on the road, too, by the way, those Gallen starts.
Exactly, yeah. No, I worry that you might be flying too close to the sun a little bit, like how he has been on the road. But he is a big game pitcher, and this is his first chance to get in, so he's lights out.
What would scare me in this series is if the Diamondbacks are putting together with their lineup like they were the last 2 series. If they come out and start knocking Zach Wheeler around, 3-4 runs through 6, then I'd be like, okay, this is not. I wasn't expecting this, but Zach Wheeler should shove the shit down.
I'm going with that. I also think I'll go with Dak on the touchdown in the Monday night game tonight. Marty, what do you have for plays?
I got Pollard touchdown, and I got Cowboys money line, and I'm just going with Diamondbacks because I like Zach Allen too. There's really no.
I think the baseball play is actually the other game. Rangers money line.
I should have touched on game 2.
Framber Valdez has not been good lately. His last 3 starts, he's been bad. He's been atrocious. And Nathan Eovaldi is the last 2 playoff starts. He's looking pretty fucking good again. If he can pitch, and not only that, but it's plus 100. So it's. I like the Rangers here. If the Rangers win this game, look out, Astros.
I kind of like the over 8.5 or 8. I think it dropped down to 8.
That's not a bad play. I think I really like Eovaldi, but Framber has been so bad lately.
Yeah. All right.
Bosco, really quick, do you guys want to touch on before we end the show on
Colorado?
Colorado's?
You worried about that?
Who's sending flowers over there?
Those aren't just 1 or 2 flowers.
Those are big flowers.
That's a lot of flowers. That's a whole garden.
Was it you or it's somebody else?
I get flowers every Monday, but still, that's some bullshit.
Do you guys want to touch on Colorado at all?
What?
Colorado's
that horrific loss?
Yeah.
People are turning on them.
Yeah, I mean, you knew people were going to turn.
And also, I wrote a blog.
Put it this way: we're week 7 in. They're a 500 team. Like, do we really want to?
I wrote a blog. I don't care.
Down every week. What has changed about Colorado?
They had a 29-point second half collapse.
29-0.
Not a great team.
Yeah, but 29-0 at Stanford, no matter what.
The guy, I don't even
you
know how
have to talk about them when we talked about them when they were 4-0. Like, I do agree. Not like we all know they're not
another
good.
Team now, though. You
But
know what I'm like?
I wrote a blog. Shador Sanders.
That was bad.
It's horrible.
I don't care if you have
I think
a team.
what's
doing
worse?
If they just lost, I wouldn't say 29-point.
Yeah.
What's worse, that or Boise blowing a 21-point lead with 5 minutes left? Actually, 4 minutes left. In the fourth
Colorado, because
quarter.
Colorado's a bigger story this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Marty wrote a blog about the halftime.
Shador Sanders, I don't care if it's a person running it. It doesn't matter. If someone's tweeting for Dave, it comes from Dave.
What did he do at halftime?
He posted like shop links to Colorado and all his like merch at halftime. It doesn't matter if it was him or wasn't him. Shouldn't be doing that. They're getting to a point, I wrote in this, where it's like the Sanders sons have been around the fame. They understand it a little bit. These other kids have not. When you got Snoop Dogg, you got LeBron, you got fucking Cedric the Entertainer was there, Anthony Anderson. fucks with, as a college kid, imagine any famous people being at your game. You would go nuts. They are probably, and also making money. You have Deion Sanders. Like, it's going to be a little harder to control everybody.
I mean, they're a 500 team. They're a bad team. It is what it is.
We knew they were going to be bad. Like, they overachieved the first 3 games.
Go hit the Rover.
Yep. All right, Barstool Radio now. We'll see you tomorrow on Pick Central.